Hey guys. Just got the two of you on so far. Hopefully we'll get some more people soon. Yeah, we haven't started yet, so if there's something that you want, if it's still on the list, just tell me and I'll put your name on it. Yep, those are still available. I'll put your name on both of them. You're welcome. Don't want the 1918 too? You already got that one? Here they are so you can see them real quick. Why is the 18 so much higher? Because it's a choice EF, which means it's like top grade EF. No, yeah, I can. Think about Mint State. You have a Mint State 60 coin and a Mint State 68 coin. Think about the price difference on some of those. It could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Plus, you know, if you have an EF45, people are going to want an EF45 before they're going to want an AU50. And then same point, you know, people are going to want an AU58 before they're going to want a Mint State 60. It's the difference of being at the top of the bracket instead of at the bottom. Oh, no, it's not because of price point. It's because an AU, if you have an AU58, that means the coin's perfect. It just has a little bit of wear. Whereas a Mint State 60 is, yeah, it doesn't have any wear on it, but it's going to have all kinds of little, like, you know, bag marks and dings and stuff like that on it. So it's just, it's a nicer coin overall. You got to remember how grading works. The difference between EF, AU, mint state, all of those, that's how much wear is on the coin. Just standard wear. Whereas the number within that is basically, it's how much damage is there, or, you know, little spots or discolorations or whatever to the coin itself. So it's planchet, strike, and die. That's the PDS system. And that's also why grading is very subjective. I got 3 people on now. Oh, 4 now. Slowly getting people on. I say go for something that most people don't bother with. Be different. Go for like Roosevelt dimes or something. It's like the coin nobody cares about. Yeah, which I understand, like, it's been the same design for so long. I haven't seen what they're proposing, but I know if it was up to me, I know what I would do, which is I would do like go over like a 10-year run and do the old designs. You know, go back to, for a couple of years, do the cat bust, and then a couple of years do the seated, then the barber, then the Merc. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. Hello. I think they should do that with all the coins personally. Go back through all the old designs. I just think it'd be a neat thing to do. Oh, no, it will not. It will not lessen them at all. Because you're talking about modern, you know, copper nickel planchet dimes. You're not talking about old school silver dimes. You're not going to have mints like the New Orleans mint and the Carson City mint. It will not lessen them at all. That's like saying that the Morgan and Peace dollars, the new ones they're doing, are going to lessen those, and they haven't. Hey, Bo. If anything, the modern Morgan and Peace dollars are madly overpriced. Yeah, that's most people agree with you. Most people think Standing Liberty is the best quarter design. And then same with the half dollars. Most people think the Walking Liberty is the best design. I don't feel excited by the new ones, but I definitely want to get a collection of the originals someday. That'd be awesome. And a Peach Dollar collection actually is not that much to put together. There's only like, there's like 2 really expensive ones, a couple little bit pricey ones, and then the rest of them are under $100 for the most part. Gold Maple, I never like to tell anybody what they should collect, because the only way I would say anybody should collect something is you should collect what makes you happy. That's the whole point of the hobby. Yeah, that's the 2 priciest ones for sure. The 21 high relief and the 28 plain date. Yeah, 34S is up there. So I think there's one more. I mean, they can all be pricey if you want like top pop, but if you're not worried about it being like the top grade, if you just want like a basic mint state. And then trade dollars is a collection I would love to put together someday. Those are one of my favorites out of the dollar coins. Yeah, so you got the 23 Denver is a bit higher priced. At a mint state 63, it's $275. The 24S at mint state 63 is $690, so that's one of the bigger ones. The 25S, pretty much all the San Franciscos. The 26D at mint state 63 is $475. And then both all the 27s are high price. That's one of the most expensive overall years. 27 plain date at mint state 63, $319. The 27 Denver is $680. The 27 San Francisco is $860. Sorry for the Denver. 27 San Francisco is $870. 28 plain date $930. 28 San Francisco is $660. And then, yeah, that 34S at mint state 63 is $7,000. But as you go down in grade, the prices go down pretty fast on some of those. So if you go for like like an EF example for a lot of those, you can get it for a fairly decent price. For example, the early AUs, those 27s that we were talking about that were all like $600 to $800. If you go down to low AUs, now you're talking about $59, $110, and $99. So they go down with grade a lot. So you have a lot of conditional rarity in there. Oh yeah, 3 cents are awesome, dude. For sure. And not just the silver, the nickel 3 centers are an awesome set too. Then if you want to go for the rarest of the basic sets, that would be the 20 cent. Which the 20 cent they only did for what, like 4 or 5 years? Let me double check that real quick. 20 center. Uh, 3 years. 75. No, 4 years. 75, 6, 7, and 8 were the 20 centers. To get the entire 20 cent set is 10 coins. But the 1876 Carson City 20 center if you're not wealthy, forget about it. You're not going to own one. At Mint State 61 for the 1876 Carson City is 218,750. But, you know, if you are wealthy and you can get a hold of one, then that's an amazing coin to be able to say you have it. Oh yeah. The 38 is like the Uber date for the Canadians, isn't it? Isn't that the super expensive one? Got 5 people on so far. Hopefully we'll get a few more before too long, because I got to get this thing going. Because in an hour and a half, I got to get my wife up. Make sure she gets up for work. Oh, the 48. Okay. Yeah, I've sold 2 of those in my time. They were fairly low grade, but I have sold a couple of those. I kind of stopped doing a lot of Canadian stuff because I think I did like a whole lot of Canadian stuff over the course of a year, and I think I burned everybody out on it. So that's why I rarely have Canadian stuff anymore. I can get it all day long. Hey, Dandy Dave. Only 3 in existence? Yeah, I can see that being pricey. It's fine that it's the most expensive, though, because only 3 of them in existence means that even if you had the money for it, you'll probably never get it. Because the people that do own it will probably never give them up. My guess would be it was probably a pattern coin. Most expensive American coin is a it's a double eagle. It's a gold double eagle. Yeah, it holds the world record for the most expensive coin ever sold. It's a 1933 double eagle, which sold for $18.872 million. All right, I'm going to get the beginning stuff out the way. For anybody new, payments made via PayPal. Use Cheapskate Coins at gmail.com and use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App using the same email. Cheapskate Coins at gmail.com. If you use Cash App, it will say Louis Kachera. That's me. You are in the right place. Shipping is $6 to $23. $6 being a little purple bubble mailer, $23 being a large flat rate box. If you want your package held so you can maximize your shipping, just let me know. I do hold packages. I always recommend email me to remind me, just in case. If you want your package sent registered, it is an additional $35. If you have it sent registered, keep in mind you will have to sign for it when it arrives. Registered is the only way you can insure coins all the way through the mail. If you're new, you can get stuff tonight. You just have to email us by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, channel name, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If I don't get that email, you will not get anything, and we never ship without payments. And make sure you check the description below for the rest of our rules and policies. Did King Farouk I, the playable king of Egypt, own a 1930? I wouldn't doubt it. If he was alive during that time, I wouldn't doubt it. Kings tend to like to spend money on that kind of stuff. Here's our Facebook link. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. I do post a lot list on there every night we have a sale. We also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say, add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the lot list a couple of days before every sale, and you have the ability to pre-purchase items as soon as you get that list. Keep in mind, it is first come, first served, just like our sale, so if you want something, don't wait, jump on it. And we do not charge right away for pre-purchases. We wait until after the evening of the sale and invoice everybody together. Unless you request, like, you know, hey, just charge me, in which case I'll just send it real quick and you can take care of it. Of course, when we put the day of the sale, when I put the list on Facebook, anything that went in pre-sale will be removed. So what is on there is what is available, with the exception of if, you know, like today, before we got started, somebody reserved a couple of the Mercury dimes, so, like, you know, those are no longer available. But for the most part, everything that's on there is what is available. Alright, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to get this thing going. So we only have 5 bait notes tonight. Not the normal 10. First one is a 1981 100 pesos from Mexico. It's going for $3. I have to say I like any of the Mexico stuff that has the Mayan artwork on it. I just think it's awesome. Kind of crazy that the Mayans, without any modern technology, figured out the 365-day year, and they were only off by like a matter of a few hours. All right, moving on. Next up, Bo, this might be one you don't have. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Well, it still might be one you don't have because I don't put a lot of Egypts out. Normally, I keep them. So the next three, actually, you might not have. You might want to check. This is the 2008 25 piastres from Egypt. It's uncirculated for $3. That's why you guys don't see Egypt banknotes very often, because we tend to keep them. And go into Bo. Because we collect Egypt. Granted, I had to sell some of my best Egypt coins over the years, which kind of sucked, because they are hard to replace. But eventually I will find them again. Next up is 2017 50 piastres. Uncirculated for $3. And go into Bo. I'm guessing you had already checked your banknote list and realized you didn't have these. And then the last of Egypt is 2022 10-pound polymer note. Uncirculated for $5. And going to Bo. Gratzer. See, lucky for you, we already had all those. So they actually made it onto the list. Yeah, why not? Different serial numbers. All right, and then the last banknote. It's another one I don't have all that often. This is a British pound. 1978 to 84, 1 pound. Going for $3. Someone got a pharaoh fetish. I'm just fascinated with Egypt, so I collect the coins. How you doing, Jags fan? Sir Isaac Newton. Tell you what, anybody wants the last two, I'll do it for $4. Saves you $2. Just chilling, trying to stay good. And Bo's taking that deal. Alrighty. And just like that, we are on to coinage. Kicking off with a little bundle. It's a bundle of 3 coins from the Bahamas at only 35,000 minted each. It's the 1973 5, 10, and 25 cent proofs. And doing it for $5. That makes it less than $2 a coin. See, that's why you just stick with my channel, so that way you're not tempted by the others. And then you know you're getting the best prices. Anybody? That's a really good deal, guys. 35,000 minted per coin. And you're getting them for less than $2 each. You found the proofs coin roll hunting or the business strikes? Because these are the proofs. Going to Bo. I've found the business strikes coin roll hunting before. Bo beat you by a hair, Dandy Dave. All right, going into World Silva. Kicking off World Silver tonight is Britain. Oh, save him up. Maybe you can corner the market on him. All right, Dandy Dave. Bo is letting you have that proof bundle. So it's now going to Dandy Dave instead. I already changed it, Dandy Dave. It's yours now. All right, kicking off tonight is sixpences. I should probably go scope because these are smaller coins. First one is 1933 in fine. It's got some toning on it, going for $5. You can find some more people that are into British coins to start unloading some of these. All right, moving on. To the 1942. This one is BU toned. And of course, because my cameras are always annoying, the toning looks really weird on it. But it like fades into a dark up there on the top. It's kind of neat. Yeah, Canada likes doing colorized coins. They're very big on doing that. Especially like the special releases where they like colorize the maple leaf and things like that. All right, moving on. I'll have to stop carrying Britain soon because interest in it has just died off. Next up is, we have two of these available. These are 1943s. They're both BUs. And they're $15 each. Hey, Richard. How are you tonight? And here is number 2. All right, moving on. Next up, we are on florins. Kicking off with the 1920. I need overhead cam now. Just bring you down. Focus. Wrong way. There we go. 1920 florin in good. Going for $10. All right, moving on to the 23 florin in VG for 8. And moving on to the 42 florin VF for 10. All right, moving on to the 44 florin VF for 8. And then we also have a 44 florin that's AU for 14. All right, moving on. And then the last two Britons are a couple of half crowns. Yeah, I could probably do a florin bundle. Give me a sec. First one is 1922. It is going for 12 bucks and it is in good. I could take $8 off the top on the florins as a bundle. You got it, sir. I could probably do a bundle for the sixpences too if anybody wanted a sixpence bundle. All right, moving on. All right, and then the last one is the 1928 in a VG. Going for 12 bucks. And if anybody wants both the half crowns, I'll do both for 20 bucks. I'll give you $4 off. All right, moving on. Next up, we got one coin from Portugal. And it is a 1933 5 escudos. 65% silver, which you don't see very often, is 65% silver. And that's in a VF at $6. We don't get the 5 escudos hardly at all. Normally we get the 2.5s. Of course, you got the classic Portugal ship design on the reverse, because they love putting the ships on their coins. Which I like. I think they're cool. Anybody? Wow, no love for the Portugal coin, huh? All right, moving on. Oh, Dandy Dave came in late for Portugal. You got it, Dandy Dave. All right, next up is Mexico. We only got 4 coins for Mexico tonight. We got 2 of these available. These are 1955, 5 pesos. Both AU. That one's got toning on it. They're 18 bucks each. Toning on the other side as well. It's a cool looking coin. Hey, Fino. Alright, moving on. And then we got 2 1968s of the 25s. BUs at 22 bucks each. Yes, sir, I've got your name on to Portugal. If anybody wants all 4, I'll do all 4 for 72. That's 8 bucks off the top. So to make the 55, 16 a piece, and then the 68s will be the 20 bucks a piece instead of 22. Anybody? Oops. Which current melt value as of right this second on the 25s, the 1968 25 pesos, is $16.29. So if you do the bundle deal, you'll be getting those at $3 and change over melt. And then the others, it's 1955, 5 peso. Current melt on those is 1307, so that'd be $2 and change over melt each. So just doing that deal just to stack up some silver, that's a pretty good deal. Sit on those for a couple of years, you'll be able to sell them just for melt and make a profit. All right, moving on. Next up, we got one coin from Venezuela. It is the 1962 Bolivars. It is in VF. It does have damage offers, as you can see, which is why it's only 10 bucks. There's VF details, 83.5% silver. And current melt on this coin is $8.38. So you're only paying $1.62 over melt. And that is going to Doug. Congrats, sir. Hope if I can get my hands on another one, I'll let you know. All right, next up, got a few coins from Germany. First one, 1972 G, 10 marks. Munich Olympics. 62.5% silver, BU, 14 bucks. And going to West Side. Well, American coins for you, Gold Maple, are foreign coins. Because you live in Canada. And then next up is 1972 G, 10 marks. This is the Olympic Spiral. BU for 14 bucks. Going to Dandy Dave. Then 1972 D, Munich Olympic Knot. BU for 14 bucks. And that one is going to Dandy Dave. And the last of the Germany is 1972 J. And this is the Kneeling Athletes. BU for 14. Anybody? And going to Dandy Dave. Congrats, sir. All right, next up, we got one coin from Israel. It is 1972 5 lira. 75% silver AU, $20. Anybody? Yeah, I showed last night that I actually recently found a knot geld from one of the German states. Oh, no love on the Israel coin. All right, moving on. To New Zealand. All right, first one for New Zealand. 1933, 3 pence. 50% silver. It's in a fine for $3. Oop, upside down. All right, moving on. To the 34, 3 pence. This one's in a VG for $3. Yeah, I got a couple of people that are wanting me to hunt down the New Zealand crowns, but man, those things are hard to find. All right, moving on. To the 1942, 3 pence. This one's EF toned, going for $6. Yeah, it's on my bucket list. It's one of the places I would definitely love to go someday. If I ever actually get the money to go travel. Alright, moving on. To the 1944, 3 pence. This This one's EF details, but it does have the scratch on the obverse, which is why it's only $3. So if you can handle having a little scratch on his head, you are getting a really good deal on this coin. Going to West Side. All right, and last of New Zealand is the 1946 VF for $5. And that's a mislabel. This one's actually a 6p, not a 3p. Oh, let me fix that real quick. There we go. All right, moving on. And next up, we have one coin from Spain. Some Spanish silver. It is the 1966. Oop, switch cameras. Doink. There we go. 1966 100 pesetas. 80% silver, extremely fine, $20. See what the melt on this one is. I'm curious. Let's see. Current melt on this particular coin, as of right this second, $15.21. All right, moving on. Next up, we got a couple of coins from Sweden. First one, 1966 1 kroner. 40% silver, BU, going for $12. Alright, moving on. To the 1955 5 kroner. 40% silver, AU, 14 bucks. Tell you what, anybody wants both, I'll do both for 22. $4 off if you get both. Ain't nobody on that deal, huh? Alright. Hey, Moose Socks. Alright, next up, we got one coin from Austria. It is 1965, 5 shillings. 64% silver, BU toned. NGC list on this coin is 46 bucks. I'm doing it for 25. That is $21 off list. And I'll tell you what, for tonight only, I'll go 23 bucks. Exactly half of list. How can you beat that? Beautiful BU at half list. Man, nobody. All right. Can't say I'm not trying to help you guys out, but I can't force you to take good deals. All right, next up is France. Kicking off with a 1912. 50 cent time. AU, 7 bucks. 83.5 silver. It's a 113-year-old coin. My parents weren't even born yet when this coin was made. Going to Dandy Dave. Congrats, sir. You waited too long, Fino. Dandy Dave beat you to it. Next up is the 1918. This one is a BU toned for 6 bucks. And going to Doug. And Doug jumped right on that one. He's like, I'm not waiting. Check that out. That is gorgeous. All right, next up is a 1916 2 francs. AU toned, 14 bucks. That is a good looking coin right there. Got that like really pretty antique toning going on. God, glare. All right, moving on. To the 1917 2 francs. This one's EF for 12. All right, moving on. To the 1918 2 francs. This one is BU toned. So that is actually discoloration right there. That's part of the weird toning. Yeah, roughly about $half size. And this one's going to Dandy Dave Kratzer. All right, next up. $1965 francs. This one's AU for 18 bucks. All right, moving on to the 1962. This one's EF for 14 bucks. I gotta like angle it so you guys can see it. And you can see in that view there is side etching on these. Try something real quick. Is that better? Or is that too dark? Like right there. But, all right, moving on. Next up, 1963. This one's AU for 18. All right, moving on. And then the last of the 5 francs, this one is the really nice one. 1966 Choice BU, 25 bucks. And it's a good thing I turned the light down for that one. That one would have nuked the camera. This is a gorgeous coin, folks. Anybody? You don't seem like that very often. And nobody. All right. And then last coin from France. 1934, 10 francs. 68% silver in 5 for 10 bucks. All right, moving on. Next up is Australia. It's going to be starting off on Scope Scene. First one is 1942 1942 Denver. 3 pence. 925 sterling. It is BU toned. Of course, under this camera, as always, it makes the toning look weird. But it does actually look really cool when you have it in hand. Little D-mint mark right there, right off to the right. Right there. All right, moving on. To the 1942 florin. 925 sterling silver, AU, 18 bucks. Anybody? All right, moving on. To 1943 florin. VF toned. Over 16 bucks. All right, moving on. To the 1960 florin. This one, they're 50% silver years. That is a gorgeous BU. Look at that. Over 15 bucks. This thing is a stunner. And going to West Side. Right, and the last one from Australia. The 1966 50 center. The only year they made these out of silver. 80% silver, AU, 14 bucks. I love this coin. This coin is so freaking cool. Anybody? Going to Fino. Gratzer. All right, and our last world coins tonight are Italy. These are a few years of the 500 liars. First one is 1958. EF, 20 bucks. It's not time yet. I got 22 minutes. I'm already on her bad side today. If I wake her up early, that'll make it worse. All right, moving on to the 61. EF, 18 bucks. Yeah, that's a private matter. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to give me a good sale, that would take some of the sting off. All right, moving on to the 65. Dandy Dave, were you bidding the 61? This one is AU, 25 bucks. There is no 62. Okay, 61, got it. 1961 going to Dandy Dave. All right, anybody on the 65? AU, 25 bucks. Yeah, I was adopted and raised by an Italian family. So I am accustomed to people that wake up at 6:30 in the morning and start cooking dinner. Because it takes all day. All right, moving on. And the last one, 1966 VF, 14 bucks. Tell you what, anybody wants all three of the remaining ones, I'll do it for $51. That's $8 off the top. What if you're already married to a non-Italian? All right. Guess nobody wants that deal either. Moving on. All right, next up. So we started off with 3 of these, but the extremely fine one went in pre-sale. But we still got both the VFs. They're 1907S 1 pesos from USA, Philippines. 80% silver VFs, $28 each. I'll give you guys a good deal tonight. For tonight only, I will do them for $25 each. That is a really good deal on these. The price on these things keeps going up and up and up. I don't know, Danny Dave. Let's see if I can answer that question for you. I mean, it's lower. The highest mintage year of the modern years was 1908 at 21 million. The 07 was 10.276 million. The 09, 7.578 million. The 10 was 3.1 million. 11 and 12 were really low mintage. The 1911 was 463,000 and the 1912 680,000. But the price on all of these as a whole has been going up. But, all right, moving on. All right, next up. This is a really good deal on this one. This is a full war nickel set. All 11 coins for $30. Not even counting the case. That's less than $3 a coin. $3 a coin would be $33. Anybody? Go with the Dandy Dave. Congrats, sir. All right. Next up, this is the only of the Mercury dimes we have left. This is the 1918 Choice XF, graded by Mr. Rick Snow. Going for 38 bucks. And going to Fino, Gratzer. And next up, this is the one I was trying to show yesterday, but I couldn't get the color to show on it. So, 1964 Roosevelt dime. It is BU. It's actually got rainbow toning on it. I mean, you can kind of see it. It's going for $6. I don't even know if the overhead with the lower light would be able to see it. Kind of. Definitely not doing justice. This thing is awesome. West Side, this one's got your name on all over it, man. The rainbow toning on this thing is amazing. I really wish I could get the freaking camera to show it as well as it looks. Right there, you can kind of make out the green. A little bit of purple there in between the green and the yellow. Anybody? It's only $6. That's a really good price. And Westside is buying it and giving it to Dandy Dave. So Dandy Dave, you are getting this one courtesy of Westside. All right, next up, 1929 standing lib quarter. It's in a VG for $10. Anybody? All right, moving on. To the 1964 Denver Washington quarter. This one's in a choice BU for $8. That's another blinger. Honestly, if nobody takes this one, I might keep it. Because I don't have one of these, and this one is really nice. So somebody better nab this thing while it's available. Anybody? All right, moving on. What makes it a choice BU? The fact that it looks really good and has very little by way of marks or anything on it. And basically, a choice BU means it would get above a 64, or above a 63, rather. It'd be a 64 or a 65. A gem BU means it would be a 66 or higher. All right, next up, 1908 Denver Barber Half. 90% silver in good, going for 35 bucks. Hey, Kellen. Anybody on a barber half? Wow, nobody. I thought sure somebody would have grabbed this thing. Yeah, with barbers, you gotta consider that when the barbers were the primary coin of the the primary coin of the time. These things were the workhorse coins. So they got spent and spent and spent and spent and spent. That's why the price on barbers with grades shoots up crazy fast. So, for example, on this particular one, as soon as I get the page open, halves, barbers. Oh wait, Denver. All right, so in a good 6, the list price on this coin is 60 bucks. At a VG10, you're up to 80. A fine, you're already over 100. It's at 115. Low VF, a VF20, you're up to 185. By the time you get into fine, you're moving into $300, or not fine, EF, you're moving into the $300 range. At AU50, 360. AU58, 625. By Mint State 63, you're at 1,050. And there's only 79 of them have ever been graded at that grade. And then if you get up to the top pop, which is Mint State 68, there's only one that's ever been graded as 68. It's $90,000. So to give you an idea of barbers, and that's a common date. That's a bit more of a common date. But last call on this one, 35 bucks. In fact, here, I'll be nice. I'll make it exactly half of list. 30 bucks. Anybody on it for 30 bucks. Exactly half of list. I want to put together a barber set at some point. I've been wanting to do that for a while. But I know it's going to take a lot of work. Because I want the dimes, the quarters, and the halves. Alright, moving on. Next up, 1943 Walking Liberty half. VF, 20 bucks. Alright, moving on. 2 Kennedy halves. Starting off with a 1964 Denver BU. 20 bucks. Alright, moving on. Alright, next up we got some 90% silver proof Kennedys. I'm going to link them all. If anybody needs one of the year, let me know. So 1994s, we got 2 available. 15 bucks each. 96, 20 bucks. Yep, I'm watching. That's why I'm trying to get done quick. 98, 18 bucks. And 2006, 15 bucks. So there's 94 number 1. 94 number 2. Here's the 96. The 98. And the 06. Anybody on any of these? 90% silver proofs. Yeah, I'm like really close to done. So actually, I'm just going to finish up so I can get off of here and go get her up. So I am not going to have time for a recap tonight. I apologize. So if anybody came in late, just watch the replay. If there's anything that didn't sell that you wanted, just shoot me an email and let me know. All right, moving on. All right, next up, we got 2 Sacagawea proofs. So 2004 and the 2006. If anybody wants both, I will do both at $6. All the banknotes sold. They are gone. Anybody, $4 each or $6 for both? All right, moving on. And the last of the lots are the 2009 presidential dollars. Got James Polk. These are the proofs. Zachary Taylor. John Tyler. And William Henry Harrison. For $12 for the year. 2009, of course, being one of the low mintage years because of the '08 recession. It was about, what was it, about April or so that the mint was ordered to stop producing coins. So everything for 2009 had significantly lower mintage than other years. Anybody? I got 2 sets available. All right. Yep. You have a good night too, man. All right, guys, I got to get out of here, so everybody have a great night. Again, if you didn't see everything, just watch the replay. And if you see something that didn't sell, just hit me up and let me know by email if you want it. Sorry, I do not have time for a recap tonight, but I got to get out of here. Everybody have a great night, and I will catch y'all later.